Residents in Forest Hill in South East London are calling for what they say is proper compensation from Thames Water after thousands were left without a supply for around 5 days back in February. The firm says it's looking at what it can do to improve its customer guarantee scheme. Thomas Magill has more.
So we were living in this block of flats here. Between this block and this block over here, there's almost 50 households, and all of us were out for 84 hours.
Nina and her family were without water for 5 days after a large pipe in the Crystal Palace area burst back in February.
We have a 4-year-old, we have a 1-year-old. We didn't receive any water from Thames Water. We didn't have any water coming through our taps. We spoke to them at the time to say we should be on the priorities register. If you've got children under 5, you should be a priority for water delivery. They did not deliver water.
Residents affected could collect bottled water from a car park in Beckenham at the time. But for Calvary, who lives in a flat in Forest Hill, that wasn't good enough. Now, she says Thames Water is continuing to fail customers by not providing adequate compensation.
Well, we just received a letter to offer £30 compensation, which they think is according to their statistics, because they do measure water pressure in the area. And if it's over a certain bar, then it's still feasible that in their eyes, we had access to water.
And it wasn't just here in Forest Hill where people were affected. Thousands had no water across whole swathes of South East London, including SE19, SE20, SE23 and SE26. Customers are entitled to £30 compensation for every 12 hours they're without water. But Nina says many of her neighbours have been underpaid. She's calling for the water company to do the right thing.
For us, it's 150 quid we're out. That's not a small amount of money. And when you think that 10,000 people were affected by the leak, I know just from the local neighbourhood that there's dozens of households who have been offered lower compensation than they should have. It becomes a bigger problem.
In a statement, Thames Water says,
"We recognise the current customer guarantee scheme does not always accurately reflect the experience customers have during a water supply interruption, and we are looking at what we can do to improve this."
Thames Water secured a £3 billion loan last year to help bail it out after facing huge debts. And with much of the infrastructure old and outdated, this latest burst pipe is unlikely to be the last. Thomas Magill, BBC London.